Greetings YouTube and welcome to the Dragon Network. As you can see here, I managed to pick up a copy of the Blue Eyes White Dragon Structure Deck, aka Saga of Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I figured I would open this up and give you guys my thoughts on certain cards in here, because even though this is a structure deck for the Blue Eyes, there's still good dragon support in here that helps out a couple of decks in some interesting ways. So yeah, I'm just going to crack this open, see what's inside, and review things. So first up, we got our official rule book, but I play on DN. I don't need this. That being said, we'll get on to the rest of the contents. We got ourselves a playmat, which actually, for like a crappy paper mat, this looks pretty decent. If this was felt, I would actually consider playing with it. You got your two Blue Eyes. Yeah, that's better. Then you got this. Tells you what packs you can power up with. Cosmo Blazer. I guess March of the Monarchs would be a good idea. And Exceeds, no, Trick Booster. Then you got Galaxy Second Dragon, Abyss Rising, Gaga Cowboy for Red Dress. Tells you how to play the deck. I'm going to refrain from making the obvious joke about Monster Reborn, because everyone who's done a box opening of this thing so far has made that joke. List of contents. And what I find interesting is they actually have a section on if you can versus when you can. And they just tell you the differences between both kinds of effects, and yeah, this is good stuff. It's kind of like how the Dragoonity Structure deck tells you about why Acles does not get to blow up a card if you Dimensional Prison the Legionnaire it's equipped to, and etc, because a lot of people used to think that. So I would honestly keep this on hand if you have a feeling you're going to like run into that person who thinks that you can special summon you get cards off of like Pulsar Dragon if they hit it with a Soul Taker. Some people still think that you get the special summon. You don't, and this explains why. But you guys watching this all know about the differences between if you can versus when you can. So let's get on to the structure deck itself. So we got our cover card, the Blue Eyes White Dragon. I don't have a problem with the Blue Eyes being an Ultra in this. My issue is that they chose this artwork. I mean, it's good artwork, but we've seen Tablet Blue Eyes several times now. I personally would have liked to have had a reprint of either the classic Blue Eyes from the anime, i.e. Starter Deck Kaiba, the Blue Eyes White Dragon artwork that we got for Legend of Blue Eyes, or even better, the Blue Eyes White Dragon from the Anniversary art. That Blue Eyes artwork looks amazing, and it would have made a great cover card for this. And then there's of course the Blue Eyes White Dragon that they just printed in Japan, the one where it's like in space and such forth. That'll be a pretty good Shonen Jump Alpha promo, but that's it. So you get your one Blue Eyes White Dragon, your one copy of Azure Eyes Silver Dragon, level 9 Dragon type Synchro, 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner normal monsters. When this card is special summoned, Dragon type monsters you can currently control cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects until the end of the next turn, i.e. your opponent's turn. Once per turn, during your standby phase, you can target one normal monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. This is actually a pretty strong card. It's just, I don't think it's going to see as much play as it would have, thanks to some hits on the ban list. Spellbook of Judgment, like the loss of that card is going to make it more difficult for Blue Eyes Spellbook to be a deck, even though that is still a deck that's possible. And the limit to Birdman makes it so the Hieratics can't drop this near as much as you used to, because you could go Birdman plus level 6 vanilla monster to summon this, and then your Hieratic field's safe from Dark Hole. That being said though, this guy offers you protection from Dark Hole, Torrential Tribute, Bottomless Trap Hole, Mirror Force, Dimensional Prison, because after this guy is summoned, your dragons can't be targeted. Compulse gets around this thing, but that's only on summon. After summon, Compulse can't do anything. They can't Black Rose your guys, they can't mind control your dragons, yeah, like, this thing's pretty solid. The 3000 defense also means that they can't beat it over in battle, and they can't beat it over with card effects, i.e. Blackluster Soldier or Red Dragon Archfiend. So overall, it's a very solid card, and maybe in a couple formats from now, this will be good. Then you get to arguably the best card in the entire deck, Maiden with Eyes of Blue. When this card is targeted for an attack, you can negate the attack, and if you do, change this card's battle position, then special summon from your hand, deck, or graveyard a Blue Eyes White Dragon. One of them, mind you. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets this thing, except during a damage step, you can special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. You can only use one Maiden with Eyes of Blue effect per turn and only once per turn. Did I call this thing Blue Eyes Maiden? I meant Maiden with Eyes of Blue. So, this is a very good card. You can just sit it on there, and unlike Decoy Dragon, it gets an effect if your opponent books it. People seem to think that Decoy Dragon is a good card in Dragon decks. It is not. Decoy Dragon is terrible. Maiden with Eyes of Blue is much better because you don't have to just let it be attacked in order to get the effect. Not to mention, it summons a Blue Eyes from your hand, deck, or graveyard. It can be all three of them, whereas Decoy Dragon just summons a dragon from the graveyard, and this has synergy with cards. Decoy does not. So, yeah, this is a much better Decoy Dragon, and frankly, I'm hoping that with this video, people will stop suggesting run Decoy Dragon in your Dragon decks, because it's just not good. That said, those are our good monsters, and we get one of our powerful spells in here, Dragon Shrine. This card is a foolish burial for dragons. However, if you send a normal dragon, you can send one more dragon. So you could potentially send a Flamvell Guard plus a Dragon Ruler, Red Eyes Black Dragon plus Red Eyes Wyvern, or Blue Eyes White Dragon plus Stone of Legend. You can only activate one of these per turn, but it's still a very good card, and I really do think that Dragon Rulers will find some way to abuse this. I almost want to see if it's worth cutting out Cards of Consonance from Dragon Rulers to run this in its place, as Dragon Ravine, Dragon Ruler, and Dragon Shrine in the hand together will thin out your deck by 4 cards. And give you like really good control of your graveyard, because you'd be going Ravine, put Dragon Ruler from your hand into the graveyard to put Dragon Ruler into your graveyard, and the Dragon Shrine can put a Flamvell Guard plus another Dragon Ruler into your graveyard, and now you've got 2 Dragon Rulers that can be summoned. Or no, you at least get one, but you get my point. So I think Dragon Shrine will see play at some point. Then we get a copy of Rabi Dragon, Alexandria Dragon, Luster Dragon, Flamvell Guard. It's seeing play, so it's relevant. One Rider of the Storm Winds. This is a Dragon type tuner you can equip from your hand onto a normal Dragon monster, and it gives it piercing. And if the Dragon type would be destroyed, you can destroy this card instead. I don't know about this. It doesn't really seem that great, but it's definitely not the worst. One copy of Dark Storm Dragon. This card is awful. One copy of Kaiser Glider. It's okay. Let's see, what is it? This card cannot be destroyed. It can like bump heads with 2400s and it doesn't die. And when it is destroyed and sent in the graveyard, you can bounce a monster. But I think there are better ways to go about that. One copy of Tefnut. This is what we got over Max C. I really don't think that this was a better choice. I mean, I can see what they're trying to do here. You summon Tefnut, you summon a monster, then you sack them off for advanced, Draconic Tactics, but I don't know. I don't think this is like better than Max C, especially seeing how Max C's recent reprint in the tins has weird wordings that makes it so that it's like really messy. Like you can only use one Max C a turn. They don't really differentiate between summoning it after using its effect. Like, I think another Max C reprint would have been good. One Mirage Dragon. It's been a while since this got printed. Mind Dragon Apocryph. It hasn't been printed since Orcs, so why not? White Stone of Legend. Alright. Kyber Man. Summon the Blue Eyes from your hand. Barrel of Creation. Add a level 7 or higher monster from your graveyard to your hand. Although, honestly, this would be the better choice. So they probably should have just done 2 Apocalypse, not to mention Chaos Monsters. Kaiser Seahorse. I think a Totem Dragon reprint actually would have been really good in here. Like, that card has not been printed at all since Crimson Crisis. And yeah, Totem Dragon is long overdue for a reprint. One copy of Honest, because everything is light, and then 2 copies of Shining Angels to round out the monsters. Then, for our spells, one copy of Silver's Cry. This is basically a Cards of Consonance, except it doesn't destroy the monster. You target a Dragon-type normal monster in the graveyard and special summon it, but you can only use one of these a turn. It's a quick play, so if they blind MST it, you get your Blue Eyes or another monster back. This is a card I like a lot. I want to run 2 of these in Hieratics to see just what it can do, because it's basically another copy of Walktail Dragon or Luster Dragon, what have you. Then one copy of Burst Stream of Destruction, one copy of Stamping Instruction. This is actually kind of relevant in some Dragon decks like Disaster. It's a 4th MST, and it does burn. A Wing Beat. This is actually a pretty good time to reprint this. And also, just a quick FYI, Wing Beat requires the Dragon to be on field in order for it to resolve. So if you Wing Beat, if they try and Wing Beat you, and you say Lance their Dragon, or Book their Dragon, or Compulse their Dragon, Wing Beat will not resolve. FYI. Copy of Trading, that's actually pretty good. Cards of Consonance, good timing on this one. White Elephant's Gift, 1 for 1. Draconic Tactics, it's an awful card. Soul Exchange, Swords of Revealing Light. I hate stall decks. Enemy Controller, it would not be a Kaiba deck without one. Castle of Dragon Souls. This is something that you definitely want to pick up a couple of copies of for Disaster Dragon, as it has a lot of uses. First, you banish a Dragon-type monster from your graveyard to target one monster you control to have it gain 700 attack until the end phase. If this gets typhooned afterwards or something, the attack gain is still there. Then, when this face-up card is sent on the field to the graveyard, you can target one of your banished Dragon-type monsters and special summon it. Unlike the duel between Kaiba and Pegasus, this one would actually miss timing if you nuked it off of, say, Chaos Emperor Dragon. That being said, though, this has really good applications. Evil Swarm Ophion attacks Quackamaru Drago. Damage step, chain this, banish Blaster. Quackamaru Drago is now 2600 attack, beats over Ophion. Oh, by the way, Blaster gets you a search, so you'll just pull out a Mash Dragon or something from your deck. I don't know what other Dragon decks of this will see playing, but if you're a Disaster Dragon player, I would definitely pick up at least one of these, maybe even 2 of them. Definitely going to try and fit a couple of copies in. Then 1 copy of Fiendish Chain, why not? I mean, it's still a pretty decent card, like, what, $4 or $5, so this is another help. More Fiendish Chains are never a problem. 1 Kunai with Chain, I'm surprised this is in here. This has always been a Joey card. I never thought I would see a Joey card in a Kaiba deck. Then again, I'm doing a Kaiba deck on a Red Eyes mat, so, meh. 1 Damage Condenser, yeah, no. Call the Haunted, I'm kind of surprised that we didn't get, whatchamacallit, Birthright in here, but Call's alright. I mean, Reborn's banned. 1 Evac Device, sure. And 1 Champion's Vigilance, because the Solemn Judgment in Red Eyes and Blue Eyes decks is never a bad thing. So, that's it for this technically 39 card deck. Well, actually, it's 40 cards because you got Yaja Eyes, but yeah, overall, it's a decent buy, especially if you're a long-time fan of the game and watched the anime during the first of all when you had Kaiba and his Blue Eyes being the baddest shit in the world and whatnot. It's got some good reprints. You got reprints of, where is it? You got Trade-In and Cards of Consonance. You got 1 for 1 in case you can find it before. Evac Device, Call the Haunted, Fiendish Chain, and so these are your good reprints. Monster Reborn would be one, but you know what happened. And then you got your, where are they? Alright, I should throw Flamvel Guardian with the reprints, because Hidden Arsenal 1's kind of like not accessible. That and that. So you have these 5 cards plus these 5 cards, making it like a good fourth of the deck is definitely worth looking into. So you definitely make your money back. It's only $12, and the Fiendish Chain's like a quarter of that. All in all, yeah, good buy. Good structure deck. It's definitely not powerful as, say, Dragons Collide. That one was just a ridiculous beast of a structure deck, but it's still definitely pretty decent, and I'm curious to see what they're going to do with the upcoming Cyber Dragon structure deck and how they'll expand upon that. Looks like we're going to be getting a reprint of one of the fusion monsters, plus maybe, who knows what else, another fusion monster? That requires 4 cyber monsters? I don't know. But yeah, give me your thoughts on Saga, Blue Eyes White Dragon, and if you're going to be playing any of the cards in there, because I know I am. I just need to get another copy of this structure. So until next time, people, this is always TGS, jacking out.